Look how beautiful that picture is. Oh, it's on social media? Uh-oh.
I just had a tweet go intergalactical because I said my 4 daughters are black. What's wrong with that? Nothing. But let's talk about it. This whole thing started on November 6th when I tweeted, "Black men do support black women. Stop tearing down and blaming black men for everything under the sun when it comes to black women." Although a lot of people agreed with me, this made a lot of other people very, very upset. There were a lot of, what do you mean by that? With the number one thing being said was, "You can't say that, sir, because you married a white girl." As if marrying someone outside your race means you can't drop facts. Like, is marrying someone outside your race a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. Love knows no colors, and that's what we should be preaching instead of divisiveness. So what are those facts? It is a universally well-known fact that black men love their mamas. Last time I checked, a black mama is a black woman, right? On a serious note, studies have shown that black fathers are more involved in their kids' lives than any other racial group. You know that prevailing myth that black fathers are absent all the time is false. Now, what is true is that only 36% of black children grow up have a 2-parent household. Now, that is an issue that needs to be fixed, but that doesn't mean you take every black guy that marries outside of his race and say that he doesn't love black women, he doesn't love his mom, he doesn't love his skin color, doesn't love his sisters, doesn't love his cousins, his nieces, his aunties, his grandmas, just because he fell in love with someone that God had him to be with. You want some more facts? Here's a meaningless one for you. Nearly 80% of black men marry black women. Why does that not matter? Because whoever they fell in love with is who they fell in love with. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the black that gets with the white, the Asian, Hispanic, the European. And I'm also happy for the white that gets with the black, the European, Hispanic, the Asian. And every other mix you can think of. Because love is love, people. And there's nothing wrong with getting married outside your race. Because love is love at the end of the day.
Okay, I'm gonna let him finish. But we got a lot to talk about right here.
If you're preaching hate, you're in the wrong. So all of that led to this comment right here.
Here we go.
What black women do you support? I responded back with a picture saying, all 4 of my daughters. It was at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, with my black cowboy hat on, my Scooby-Doo socks, and my black Air Moccasin 3s on, that all hell broke loose. The quotes and comments back to this tweet were filled with black women saying that my 4 daughters aren't black. And the prevailing sentiment was that they aren't black because their mommy is white. It really is unbelievable that I put out a statement saying that black men support black women, yet we got black women in the comments not even supporting black women. And I know that these girls have not reached womanhood yet, but that makes it even worse because now you got black women hating on little black girls, trying to tell them what they are and what they aren't. I don't believe that you can meet hate with hate and then try to find love. So instead of meeting this hate that was seen online about my daughters being called black, I decided to just drop more facts. I'm not the one who came up with the 1-drop rule, which stated that if you had any ounce of black blood that you were considered African American or black in this country. I know that our 4 daughters are biracial. They will know their Estonian heritage. They will know every facet of both sides of their family. They will know who they are. But that doesn't mean that they're not black. I always say how I feel, and this is what I said underneath that post that went nuclear. I support my black mom. I love her. I love and support all black women, but I also support all women. And that starts with my Estonian American immigrant wife, Grete. She is an incredible mother and an even better wife. But you see, support is not a piece of pie. We should support all women. We should support all people and stop supporting divisiveness. The weirdest thing for me was anyone trying to gateguard the black community. That includes black men, white men, Asian men, Hispanic men, and black women, especially black women, who are one of the most marginalized groups in the entire world. Why would you marginalize your own? Why would you try to state that these 4 young black girls aren't black just because they were given birth to by a white woman? Get that hate out of your heart. It ain't right. As people in general, we can do way more together than we can do separate. So what do you think that means when you're talking to black women? I know the hardships you face. I know what you have to deal with on a daily basis because I grew up in a family with 2 black parents and have lived the same shared experience that you have from the projects all the way to the mansions. There isn't one single solution to help remove all the obstacles in the way of black women in this world. But I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that black women being exclusionary to themselves isn't gonna help. Let's support each other and stop trying to divide. Peace.
RG3. I got love for RG3. That's the homie. Oh my goodness. Woo! Cause RG3 throw any more ingredients in this gumbo so we could chew on it. Goodness, this is gonna be tasty. Oh my God. Now, I have been on record before saying that the definition of black is ill-defined. A lot of people didn't want to hear that. Said this years ago. If you ever read what the 1-drop rule is, and if you understand the context of what it was then and still has an implication now, you will understand where I'm coming from and where I'm about to go. And RG3 just felt exactly what I knew that definition would do to people. It would confuse them. It would get them in conflicts. Just like the old adage, the dynamic of Hanlon's razor. If you guys are not familiar with that, let me give you a proper definition. They say never to attribute to malice which can be adequately explained by error, human error, stupidity, ignorance, etc. Basically, stop thinking everybody's out to get you, everybody's coming at you, everybody at your neck. When in reality, nah, it wasn't that intentional. It's just my bad. Why am I bringing that up right now? I'm bringing it up right now because when RG3 comes out and says, these girls, my daughters, are black kids, and people say, oh, no, they're not black. I don't think there's malice in that pushback. You want to know why? I think there's ignorance because the definition of what black is ill-defined. Basically, it's an ignorant-ass definition. Go back to the one-drop rule, the context, the situation, the definition at that time. Oh, it wasn't made with good intentions. But we have ran with that for good reason. Now, let's get into it. RG3 says his kids are black. People say, no, I don't know about that. That white woman made some black kids. Interesting. So then we start getting into biracial. We start to get into mixed race. All these definitions, different definitions of what we're trying to umbrella as what black is and what black is not in this context. I'm going to walk down, y'all, and try to get it all instead of run down to get one of these points off. RG3 married out his race, and he said that don't be mad at what God had him to be with. Anybody who married, raise your hand. Anybody who's a believer in God, raise your hand. Anybody read the Bible or your holy book, whatever it may be, raise your hand. Okay. We know that our supreme gift, the thing that God gave us, was choice, freedom of choice, right? All the way back to Adam and Eve and the apple. I said not to do it, but you can choose, do you? Choose faith, belief in God. Long story short, y'all walking around here saying God chose that lady, that man. God, so that's like God did the divorce rate too. God gave you the choice to choose who you wanted to marry. Now, you can put it in the covenant, but don't act like God made you do that. I just had to push back on that with a little levity. Let's get serious here. Because RG3 said a ton, and it's time to go to school. Now, please, y'all, don't get overwhelmed by this, but it's going to be a lot. We are going to go there because we need to go here. I am going to break down the one-drop rule. What? Yes, I am. The one-drop rule is a social and legal principle originating in the United States. Okay, so once again, you know me, I'm a universal principle believer. If it ain't universal, let's talk. This is not universal. This is the U.S. saying let's do something. And y'all know why the U.S. said. Stating that any person with even one drop of African ancestry is considered black. Okay. Doesn't sound like the worst thing. Doesn't sound too toxic. Actually, for me, my spidey senses went off as soon as I heard what the one-drop rules when I was a youngster, when I was a kid. This rule has complex historical roots and consequences with both positive and negative implications. That's why RG3 stepped in it. Not even by doing anything wrong. Over time and across different contexts. Here's an outline of some of the key pros and cons. Y'all ready? I like to start with the good things. Here's a pro of the one-drop rule. Strengthen cultural identity and solidarity. Yeah. We're going to make our monolith. Not just kidding. We're going to make us one. Yes. This one-drop rule has at times fostered a sense of unity within the black community by identifying individuals of diverse backgrounds as part of a shared cultural identity, which has encouraged solidarity, especially in the face of systemic oppression. Wait a minute. So you saying my one-drop rule black identity came in opposition in the context of oppression? You ever go to church? You ever heard the pastor say, never make a decision when you're angry, when you're lonely, or when you're tired? Pastor, may I add when you're being oppressed? Systemic oppression? Please don't define things. Please don't make those decisions. I digress. Political power and representation is another positive. By categorizing more individuals as black, the one-drop rule has historically increased the size of the black community, potentially amplifying its political influence and capacity to advocate for civil rights and social change. Yes, more y'all, so then more y'all gonna have power, so therefore we can get some political influence in voting. Even though that has now retreated, obviously. Are we at the bottom? Because I know Latinos just passed us up in terms of voting power and prowess. Challenging racial purity ideals. Here we go. The one-drop rule inherently opposes the concept of racial purity by recognizing the reality of racial mixing. The reality of racial mixing. For my whole life, I swear, I don't know 10 people who are racially mixed who didn't either A, have some kind of identity issue, B, get bullied, or C, both, A and B. I mean, they all talk about how they too black for one, too white for the other. I'm just using the black and white example because it's RG3, but y'all get my point. And I'm like, damn, did any of you guys have a childhood, a upbringing without anybody tripping on you guys? And I ain't talking about the normal kids being kids. They're like, no. You want to know why, in part? Because when you're not standing on the proper premise because of an ill definition of what you are, how are you going to ever go unscathed? While originally intended to enforce racial boundaries, the rule inadvertently highlights the arbitrary and socially constructed nature of race. Y'all catch all that? I did. That's basically saying, going around here looking at race, defining people by race, it's a tricky game. And it's a game you probably ain't gonna win. The House wins. And the House is the United States systemic oppression definition. That's winning. Here's the cons. And my spidey sense took me to the cons first, and now I'm about to read them, even though I read the pros. Reinforcement of racism and segregation. Originally, the one-drop rule was created as a tool of white supremacy to maintain racial hierarchy. Did y'all hear that? They said y'all black because y'all ain't white. Oh, I'm 99.9% white. No, you ain't. You 99 and you 1% black, and that means you black because that's the one-drop rule. That's the 1%. 0.1 or any number, if it's black, you ain't white. They basically, if y'all ain't picking up what I'm dropping, what I'm putting down, they looked around and said, if you ain't a pure white person, you got this much from Africa. Boy, you get it? This wasn't to define a group in a positive way, in true solidarity with pride. This was, y'all outcasts, y'all get away from here. All y'all, I don't care if you 1% or 99%, move. And we have taken that and tried to run with it. We ain't run that far. Okay. Let's get back to it. Let me make sure I'm in the right place. Yes. By classifying anyone with African ancestry as black, it reinforced the idea that blackness was inferior and undesirable in the eyes of the dominant society, fueling racial discrimination. I don't know. Look, let me not say that because that is just wrong. That's not respectful to my ancestors. Because I was about to say, and I'm going to say what I was about to say, which I shouldn't say, but I'm going to say it. Why did they run with this definition? Oh, they had to. Why are we still running with it is a different conversation because we ain't gonna have to. And I don't subscribe to it like that. But we'll get to that. Erasure of mixed identities, if that's how you say erasure. The rule ignores the nuanced identities of people with mixed race heritage. RG3, this is for you. Often forcing them to identify solely as black despite complex backgrounds. This can lead to an internal struggle and external with identity and feelings of being boxed into a single category. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. So basically, you got a white mama and a black daddy, and you walk around here saying I'm black. Ain't half of you white? You ain't got no pride? You ain't claiming it? You ain't banging the white side? You just gonna bang the black side? Already then, if I am and I am, I'm saying I am both. That's just me. That's the way it should be. But instead, no, you over here. No, you over there. No, I'm actually both. It's okay. Perpetuation of colorism. By categorizing people of varying skin tones and cultural experiences under a single identity, the one-drop rule has sometimes fueled colorism within the black community. Yep, where lighter-skinned individuals may experience privilege even as they're labeled as black. Yep, we already seen that. Do the Right Thing and all them already did that, right? What was it? One of the movies, one of them Spike Lee movies. Lasting psychological effects. Ooh, here we go. The legacy of the one-drop rule has contributed to deeply rooted social stigmas, self-perceptions, and generational trauma, related to race and identity, affecting individuals and communities in various ways. In some, the one-drop rule has had complex and far-reaching effects. Ooh. While it has contributed to a unified black identity, especially in the face of systemic oppression, it also imposed rigid racial boundaries, disregarded mixed identities, and upheld the racist structures it was initially created to enforce. It has also imposed rigid racial boundaries, disregarded mixed identities, and upheld the racist structures it was initially created to enforce. And we walking around here talking about this is what black is, and more importantly, what black is not, and more importantly, not giving people the sense of pride or the room to have the pride that they deserve for being mixed race. Whew. Mixed race, biracial, and black. Those definitions can overlap, but certainly need to be respected in their independence as well. Long story short, if you're mixed race, say you're mixed race. You're biracial, say you're biracial. If you're black, say you're black. But understand, by saying even if you're black, what you're saying and what you're not saying is the problem. Because when you don't say it and then you see it, now you attack it like you did with RG3 and his daughters. Are they black? By the one-drop rule they are, but is the one-drop rule really what we should be using to define what black is? How hard is it to just say what you are? When you get something to eat, you go get those potato chips, Cheeto Puffs over here. You go get them. First of all, nobody turning it around to see how many calories, and then you got to multiply that because how many damn servings, and nobody reading all them lines that got all them oxides and all them paracats in it. We ain't reading that. But then when you know you get a little belly out, cheesy fingers, got a little on your shirt, every now and then you turn it around and you read it. And it got ingredients. And it starts at the top, and it's sentences at the sentences of what did I just eat? But that's what that is. It's okay, black people, white people, all people, to just say what it is, who you are, what are your ingredients, with pride. Not some Jim Crow law that told us, you too. What? He is I, but I ain't him. That's Slim. I'm the one with the tilted brim. What's my mother name? It's gonna keep happening too. Sad. I see it all the time. When you don't properly acknowledge something, emotions, definition, anything, if you don't call it like it is, it ain't done. You can't even put a post up. I got a beautiful white wife. Everybody know I'm mixed interracial marriage. Everybody see it. And we make these babies. The easiest way, if you had me running this world right now, like we always have amendments, we always have changes, I would have said, oh, no. You are black, you are mixed race, you are biracial. I will let those kids have a sense of pride instead of, Daddy, why did I go to school today and everyone's teasing me because they said you told people we're black? And they're saying I'm not black. And I thought I was black, but I'm also white. Why can't I say I'm white and black? or black and white or mixed race or biracial. And daddy, why is it this damn complex? And hopefully RG3 grabs the old adage from Confucius that says life is simple, but humans insist on making it complicated. Ignorant. Leave them kids alone, man, or inform this world that we are not properly defining what things are. Once again, I hear you, Miyagi. There are no bad students, just bad teachers. Okay. Make sure you guys log on to projecttransition.org. And if you become a gym member, a giver every month, yes, please support the foundation so we can help these itty bitties so they can know who they are, right? I will sign, seal, and deliver this book to you. Autograph, too. I'm going to hook y'all up. Uh-oh, it's rap time. Let's go get it. Let's start right here. Let's go. Oh, they in the huddle right here. I think it's kind of whack. Jim Crow law on the tap. Trying to tell me I ain't black or I am. Listen to me, ma'am. Listen to me, sir. Being black's a blur. It's like a little white. It's all right. Nah, that tonight. I'm out of sight. Oh. You know what I do? I might just change the law. What they see ain't what they saw. Hell no. Go boy. Oh yeah. That was a good one too. That was a top 5 one. That was a top 5 one. Who's still with me? Love you guys. Log on to projecttransition.org. Help these itty bitties go get that thing. I love you guys to go boy. What's up, y'all? It's Marcellus Wiley, founder of Project Transition and proud gym member. I'm excited to share with you an opportunity that will support our kids on their mission to making their dreams a reality. At Project Transition, we believe that real change comes from consistent action and support. That's why we invite you to join our powerful gym membership program that is making a difference every single day. As a gym partner, by giving every month, you'll fuel our mission by providing monthly support that turns into real empowerment and education for underserved youth. Your commitment reduces school dropouts, nurtures communities, and funds impactful programs like the Rising Stars Academy that we share. Together, we can turn potential into prosperity. Join the group of community champions driving change. Your contributions will help aid success by providing essential educational resources, building critical life skills, and fostering community strength. There's no better feeling than knowing your support will ignite hope, foster dreams, and empower the next generation. Join us today and be a part of transformative change. Help our youth become greater than their greatest excuse. Become a gym partner. Thank you.